guys, welcome to Sports File, the program where we talk about everything sports and in between. My name is Marty Fati, and I have with me two amazing gentlemen that are going to be gracing the show and taking it on a ride with myself. I have Chidi and I have Tafida. Hi, gentlemen.
Hey, ma'am, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Tafida?
I'm good.
How do you guys feel to be on the show today?
So exciting, man. We're pretty good.
Yeah,
Being here. Happy
yeah.
always being here.
Yeah, I'm also excited that I have the both of you here because every time you come on the show is really, it makes it an insightful one. And welcome on the show again. So if you're just joining Sports File for the first time, we have an informative side and we also have an educational side to the program. So starting off really strongly, a lot has happened over the weekend as regards sports and football. I will let Mr. Chidi take us on the ride as he will be giving us a bit by bit breakdown of what happened over the weekend.
Okay, so let's start from the home front where we have the Kamaru Usman, Nigeria-born Nightmare UFC champion, coming back, giving back to the society, bringing the fight to Africa, Nigeria, and Abuja over the weekend. Like, see fighters coming to the Volodrome, state Volodrome in Abuja. So where we saw the Miss Jane Osigwe coming up front top at the female category, and the guy from Angola winning the Senegal counterpart in the UFC, and it was really nice. It was really exciting watching those teams that we're watching over to the television, bring them down to Abuja. They can just move over to the basketball where the Tigers crashed out in the semi-final of the ongoing FIBA basketball, but we saw Angola coming out top against Senegal, and we just hope that the Tigers come back home and prepare very well going forward for the World Cup, the FIBA World Cup, and we hope they really come and make their house in order. Because since we saw the Tigers winning the championship 7 times in a row, 5 times in a row, and also they should just emulate the ladies and give us the best. And Nigeria, we are rooting for them because we know that they have the quality players. Like we watched the game where they came back against Cameroon. Maybe as it is, the game changed, like flipped on their head. So going forward, like let's go back to the Premiership when we saw some dramatic penalty. Premiership is something like it's everybody. It's an exciting sport. We saw Arsenal coming up top against Leeds 5-0, and it's so much relieving for the striker Toyokares, giving his first goal for the club and scoring 2 goals. And we saw the likes of Dorman, 15 years old, coming to the light, shining. Yes, and then we talk about the Man U against Fulham and the penalty and all. So if we talk about the game is exciting, like sports is really exciting, and also the Premiership. So it's something that you just get looked to your TV, and you saw like the likes of where the game continues today. So we just go back home and just see how the game goes. But we are optimistic we are now gradually seeing how the table is going to look like, and also we can see we saw the drama unfolding on our own Nigeria-born Victor Boniface failing the medicals in AC Milan, had to go back to Bayern Leverkusen. I'm optimistic for him. I really want him to come up top. He's a very fantastic footballer, even though on the brighter side, his social media is always. But I feel that he's taking more social media than his game.
People say that
Yeah,
actually.
so I really want him to go back. He's a fantastic footballer. But you watch where he's coming from Norway to Sweden, then going back to Germany. It's a very exciting boy to watch. So I really wish him good recovery, and also see the likes of German Bundesliga. You see they started like over the weekend, and we saw some exciting goals. And Bayern Munich proving how good they are, winning their game, and we saw some dramatic Bayern Munich equalizing game, and the drama that unfolded and by Borussia Dortmund, the parent of Jude Bellingham, confronting the hierarchy of Dortmund and then giving them stadium ban. So this is not what I want to see in football, but that was part of the game. So I'm happy. They're hoping forward for next week. Most of the leagues are coming up this weekend. So
Yeah, and
Well,
also
please.
like Man United.
Excuse me. I was
Yeah.
I was going to ask you because
Yeah.
I know that your team played over the weekend.
Yeah.
So I would like you to start, from there. Tell us how it felt for you to watch your team. How did they do and all of those things.
Yeah, it's so interesting to see that your team are winning back to back, especially for the fact that we invested a lot this time around. We spent a lot of money to buy players, and it's so exciting to see that those players are putting in work. And also, even before the match, we unveiled a new signing called Eze, Eberechi Eze, who
Okay.
who was who played for Arsenal when he was in his childhood era.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so he went out and came back this time around. So it's so exciting to see people like that come back, people that have the club at heart, and also Victoria Perez showed the reason why we bought him by scoring a goal, and also scoring two goals, actually a
Yeah.
penalty and a solo goal. So it's so interesting to see, and we dominated the match as well.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
I don't think they had a lot of chances
Okay.
against us. So you can see the teamwork is building, and
Yeah.
everybody's so excited.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Safida. I feel like both of you had what's the word now? I think it's a fun-filled week, and it has shown through in your deliveries actually. Starting off this program, I mentioned that this isn't only the segment that we'll be focusing. The gentleman has told us about how the sports went down over the weekend. And for the second segment of the sports file on the Ombudsman Radio for this hour is this very intriguing and interesting topic that everybody is wondering. And we've thought about that, and we're like, let's bring it to the screen. Why male football or male sports is more popular than female sports, especially in Nigeria. Also with the two gentlemen, Chidi and Tafida. I'll be starting with you, Mr. Chidi. Do you think that, or how do you think that history has shaped the popularity of male sports?
Well, if you cut across the world of sports, male is more dominant. The male sport is more dominant than the female, because if you look at it this way, like the male will have a higher testosterone than the female, will have the energy, the strength. The you have it's different when you look at it this way. Like if you check out the World Cup, the popularity of the World Cup, the fan base is more than the ladies. Because one, let's put it this way, many parents will not allow their female ones to go into sport because they feel like you look masculine. Yeah, that's one of the things. But gradually, like I said, sports coming of age where parents allow their kids to play. You can see the likes of Chamaka Nadozie saying the dad never wanted her to play football,
Yeah.
but the mom encouraged her to play. If you check the like of the Pascal Semenya, the South Africa runner, they're having this gender because she's looking like 95% male. So all those things is what make many ladies tend to shy away from sports. So, and if you see like the like of Serena Williams saying that they need to pay ladies equally, and people are coming up to say no because men are more active. It's more it's more exciting to watch the male.
They have more fan base as well.
Than the female. So
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chidi. Tafida, when Chidi was talking, he mentioned that he believes that male football or male sports is more popular than female because men have more strength than female. So I believe that women play against women. So how do you think not being as strong as men, how do you think that equal to the low visibility that they have in female
I'll
sports?
just say public perception, because I feel women are more centered, or we put them in a box where we feel they are just out for fashion and beauty, without, like, we don't put them next to sports. When you mention the word female or woman, you don't put it next to sports. So I feel people just put them around beauty and fashion. So that's why. But nowadays you can see the turnaround. People are like, more females are getting into sports, and also there are legends, female legends in sport, like you said, Serena Williams and the likes. So I think with time things will change.
Okay.
but we know
Thank
that definitely it can never be like a male sport because recently when the likes of the championship football team challenged the male team to play, they didn't even bring the active male. They brought retired footballers
Okay.
to play an active
Mm-hmm.
female team.
Yeah.
And the retired male footballers won them close like 7-0. Imagine these retired footballers winning active racing. So that's why I say when we talk about all those things, it brings the publicity. Like we have the likes of the retired footballers league in Brazil. We still amassing a lot of coverage.
I want to disagree with you, because over time you can see that, like, the male football didn't just pop up once. It took time.
Started somewhere.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think the females now, if you can see now, most of, like, let's use Nigeria for example. like the Super Falcons now, they are individual like players have fans. So that's how football, like, it generates from that to the next level.
But you cannot keep
So
an under 17 football team, male football team, and you ask this Falcons, it's not going to be.
Anyways, I feel like this brings me to my next question, Mr. Chidi. How do you think that what's the word now? How do you think that the normal or the Nigerian gender roles affect perception of football or of sports generally?
Yeah, like I just said it before, like I, many parents wouldn't want their kids to go into sports because of they feel like it's masculine when they your body toned to side of like when you see their body physiques, and you can see the likes of our former Super Falcon Chichi Abu when they
No,
say
thank you. I want to cut you there. So what I'm trying to ask is, you know, normally in an average Nigerian setting, people believe that men are the heads, men are stronger, and men are all of those things. So do you think that that is why the male sports, like, they are getting more engagement, more visibility and followership than the average female sports?
yes, because the male sport tends to be more exciting to watch. It's more intriguing. It's more practical. Like I can say, give you an example. Like it's when you're watching the female games, you just feel like it's not fun. You just like you just like
Okay.
Let
I feel
let
like
me
women are
come
going
in,
to come
yeah.
for you for
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah.
Davida has something to
Let me
say.
come in there. I feel
Okay.
culture and religion has played
Played
a lot
a-
of
yeah, an
role in this.
integral role.
People's belief and norms and values in their society tends to like stop females from participating in sports and all of that. But now you can see even in like there's that in the WAFCON, you can see there's a female Moroccan player that wore hijab and
Yeah.
dressed all proper just to fit in. At least I feel with that dressing, the society won't stigmatize her and stuff. So
Yeah.
so I just feel religion is a key factor and culture as well. People just have their beliefs that female are not supposed to be exposed like that. But over time, things are like as we are now, things are changing.
And that's
Yeah.
what I tried to tell you, that the Chijiabo of the former Super Falcons, when the mom had to disown her because she was looking, when she was training, she started looking like manly. So
Yeah.
those are, like I said, I don't really feel maybe culture. You might say culture, but I don't really feel. I feel this maybe parental. Like I said before, many parents don't want they feel like sport tends to tune their female world into like the masculine. But that's like I said. Over time, people have seen how the beauty of sports,
Yeah.
the financial benefit and all. So we see parents. Like if you go to the Abuja National Stadium now, I see parents reaching their kid for swimming, gymnastics, and
Yeah,
everything.
rather than
Yes, rather than
football,
rather than
things like
football.
that.
Yes, because they just feel like football makes your daughter looks like
Yeah,
male.
yeah.
business.
But then I personally believe that it's just, I don't think that is the case. Because when you go out, when you look at players outside of the country,
Yeah.
you see that they play the sports, but then they still, retain their womanly or their feminine features. They play the sports, but they still look like women. So I don't think that has to be the case, even though it's a factor.
It's a factor, but if you
Yeah.
talk about even the Nigerians, I always tell some of my agents that when I go to scouting program, the white man, they're like, okay, example like this boy is not 18. I'm like, he is 18, but coming back to Africa, what we eat, the way we sleep, the environment, it makes someone look
Affects
older.
the
Yes,
physique.
the physique make them look older than their age.
Yeah.
This, if you're talking about Nigeria in perspective, you can say, okay, this is what this thing, but talking about the Western world where they have everything after the training, you have the cool baths, your hot
Yeah.
water baths, your vitamins, yes, it's different. You see them, the Western world have embraced sports right from time. Like you see kids of 8 years doing some magical gymnastic, and they cannot expect an African, not even a Nigerian 18, maybe like 8 years old girl climbing a pole and twisting himself. You're going to break a spinal cord. So,
Yeah.
those are those things that, but if you go now, you see that sport have come into play. You go to the stadium. If you go to Abuja Stadium now, you see people tends to be in the main bowl where people are playing football, except the level of sports. You have to go to the package B.
Yeah.
There where they have the gymnastic, the judo, the swimming, the aquatic,
Yeah.
the everything, the handball and the rest.
Yeah.
So it's plus. It's just like I
Okay.
said.
This brings me to my next question for you, Tafida. Do you think that when it has to do with female sports, the way they look physically is the major criteria for selection? If yes, if you think that is it, how does that affect the female sports?
I don't think it's their physical attributes. I feel it's their skill. If you are, yeah, if you are good with your craft, I don't think they'll have to look at your body, your size or whatever to fit in. If you look if you look in abroad, let's say in the Western world, you see people like have small body, but their skill, their techniques sh- make them put them ahead of their other colleagues who are even bigger and stuff. So I don't think physics is a criteria
You
for
can take a
selection.
case study of the Nigeria Super Falcons, the left back, the Ashley Pumper. She's very slim. She doesn't look like a footballer, but she's one of the like
The
the most
best.
dependent defender we have in the distance. So I don't think physics is always. But if you check, if, like I don't know if you watched through the TikTok over the weekend, the Manchester City goalkeeper when she was dancing to a tune, and some of my friends were like, "Are you sure?" She said, "You get it." So
Well, like, yes.
yeah, so it's not about
Yeah.
this.
Okay. Do you think that if investors invest equally as they do male sports in female football, or female sport, do you think that that would close the gap in popularity?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So
Because
you feel like if they pump equal money,
money.
women's football, women's sport generally
Yeah.
will still not be there.
If they pump, like, for instance, if they pump equal money into the FIFA female World Cup, they might not get the huge amount of profit that they get
Return.
in the male sports. Yeah, they've checked it. Even most of the female athletes have been coming out to say they want equal pay with the men. Even when this Perika Shield, the boxing champion, the female boxing champion, saying she wants to fight a man, wants to fight the male heavyweight champ. Even her own trainer will call her that. Call her and say, "You don't
Calm
try
down."
it. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
try it." So
Yeah.
you cannot expect them maybe paying Anthony Joshua like maybe in a fight $50,000, and you're, for them to pay you 50,000, you're going to pay like 15 or thereabout $10,000. It can never. I always say it can never be the same. Example, when you go to the stadium and you see like the under 20 female football team training, they use most of the academies, the male academies in the stadium to test their strength. And if you watch the last one I watched, the Nigeria Falcons, the under 20 female team, they played an academy of boys of the 15, 16 years old, and they still lost the game. So I feel if they put equal money, it will not be the same.
Yeah.
And to
So
add
what
to
I-
that, sorry,
okay,
please.
alright,
I will say like the females are not centered on sports. Like that's not if you like that's not the first thing you think of when you mention a female's name. They are more into beauty, and so you see, I feel men are more known for athleticism and stuff. So I think if you invest equally, it- an average female wouldn't tell you she wants to go into sports. An average female won't tell you she wants to watch something relating to sports. She'll
Yeah.
prefer to watch something
more entertaining,
yeah.
more like beauty, like you
Mhm.
said.
Yeah, so
Music
I
and
feel
all.
so if you invest equally, men will still top the charts.
So I'm going to ask this question. I feel like Mr. Chidi already answered it, but I want to get your own perspective.
Okay.
So do you think that when it has to do with male sports, it is really truly more entertaining, or is it just cultural bias?
Mm, uh, you got me there because it's
Yeah.
a two-way traffic. Sometimes we are more passionate, we are more physical, so that brings more entertainment to the sports. People want to see ruggedity. People, when it comes to sports,
Yeah.
people want to see that ginger. But female women are more
Careful.
and relaxed.
Yeah.
So I feel that's just.
But if you ask me though, I feel like it depends on the sports. Talk about football, the male. Talk about boxing, the male. The UFC, the male. I talk about the aquatic part of sports. I think is the female. Like when they do this, I don't know, the Olympics, where you see females doing this their routine underwater. I don't think male can. I've never seen any male team doing
I
that
agree
underwater.
because of flexibility,
Flexibility
as
and
well.
all. So to me, I believe in terms of this snowboarding, there's some sports I feel like the females are dominating. Yeah, it's hardly for you to see the male. It's like all this
Like
guy,
even handball, I guess.
yeah,
You
handball.
see the females are more
yeah,
active there.
active. So the female are more
I
active.
agree.
Them all this skill diving, that's where for the male. So It depends on the sport, though. It depends on
If
the
it's
sport.
more physical, then you see the
Male.
male
Okay.
dominating.
So my question now is, if we have highlighted all of these differences, can we as women ever get to a point where we can compete favorably with men in terms of sports, as a like football, like boxing, all of those physical games? You think we can ever get to a point where we can compete favorably with the male folks?
This is now where feminism should come in. If it's women supporting women, because if you look at football, like the male aspect of football, you see that it's men that are always going out to support this the male football, but the female football, you see women don't really care. Like they don't have much fans. Even in this WAFCON, you could see that Azizat and other players who came out to say they lack support. They were not People were not coming out to watch these games. So I feel it's just where women are supposed to support women, because the male in the male dominating
Are
sports are
supporting their
supporting their
own.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. So what lessons do you think that I'm putting this to Chidi now? What lessons do you think that a country like ours can learn from, westernized countries where they have female sports thriving?
Yeah, there's a lot for us to learn.
Okay.
But first of all, I'll talk about the accommodation. I'm into sports. I go to, I don't want to call some certain locations, where you go to the stadiums and see where all these, the boys can manage, they can put up in an open space to sleep. But you want a girl to represent your country in all these, like I said, the judo, the boxing, there's no very well environment for them to sleep. You get, to me, it's structure. And we need to plan like a long time plan for it. Like giving someone like, okay, take this girl, she's good at UFC, like judo, train her for the next 5 years. Like the accommodation is going to stay, what she's going to eat, their drinks, their vitamins and all. But if you stay in Nigeria, like I don't think we have the qualities, we don't have the facilities for training. Most times I watch them train. Their gears, their boxing gears are torn. You have to go and buy your gears by yourself, and where they sleep, where they camp them, it's an open camp. So that's why you see that there's so many games that, apart from football, I don't think you can take any, aside South Africa, I don't think you can take any African female serious. We only do well in all this weightlifting, para weightlifting. But aside that, talk about like the swimming, they cannot, because of, I don't feel like we don't have the
And
structure.
you can see, why I even concur to all you said is because you can see most of the female athletes we have, most of these female sports people, you see they have lived abroad. So the trainings they've gotten is from
From there,
outside.
yes.
It's not within. So you hardly find like a Nigerian, apart from the lucky ones, the ones God have blessed naturally. You hardly find a Nigerian groomed athletes,
female
yeah,
athletes.
Just like in the Tigress, majority of the Tigress, they are from US. When you check the standard of Nigeria Basketball League, how many people are watching it? It's just because we are into sport, like we're always in the stadium. We don't say that maybe custom football, because I know that custom have a basketball team and fire service, they are playing it. We go to the basketball, we're not like 6 or 7 fans watching it, and so
That's terrible.
that's terrible. So it's different. You see all this, like we are just also urging most of the professionals, they should still come back. That's like most, like the guy in Senegal, right? To come back, the try to do all those, like bring up all those the amateurs into the game. But I won't lie to you, down here the structure is so bad. Like after the game, you have nothing to eat.
The men are that their sport is even good. They are struggling.
They are
Talk
struggling.
less of
Yeah,
grooming
yeah.
in new sets.
Yeah, so now the question I want to put this to you now, Tafida. When you were speaking, you mentioned something that most of our Nigerian based players did not get their training.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
they got it from diaspora
Yeah.
and all of that. So how can a country like ours, given our own special nature and challenges, how can we, replicate what they have outside there, so that our own homeland players can, be able to compete with, world standards?
It's just to bring it's basically to invest and bring a game to standard. Like we should, I think training upon training, like our staff training, the staff that are into sports, people that are like the NFF staff and all of that, a lot of staff training, so that we'll be more professional in our activities and bring our games to standard. so we can compete with all these people like all this Western world and all of that stuff.
I just feel though, but it's not about we have the talent in Africa, right? But I just feel like I said, the structure. Like if you talk about the organization, we always complain like the players in Africa. We can't even you can barely see a Nigeria Premier League side that has a natural turf, like a natural grass in their football field, is synthetic.
Yeah.
The easy they want the easy way out. Somebody wants to go through
The hustle.
the hustle.
Yeah.
Like it's synthetic. To me, most of us are saying we don't need synthetic in Africa. Synthetic can naturally be built for countries that have snow.
Yeah.
So the cost of the ball. But in Nigeria, you play in the Nigeria League side, you're playing a game by 2 o'clock and your boot will be so hot because of the we have poor maintenance culture.
Yeah.
Like if I'm saying like for instance sport, like let us say okay the UFC, the judo, where you see them training, they are training in a very sports environment.
Yeah,
So,
I feel I have to come in here now. So rounding off really quickly, this is the last question. Given all of these challenges, all of these things wrong with the female sports and all of those things, and how we can help bring it back to life.
Yeah.
Tell each of you one each. Tell us what the average female sports player should know. What she needs to know watching right now. Mr. Chidi, I want you to give me one and Tafida one.
be confident in yourself.
Mm.
Confident in yourself in your craft. Never give up. Keep on going, but always have a side hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, training upon training. I'll just say perfect your craft, because don't limit yourself to just Africa. Don't limit yourself to just Nigeria, because as you're perfecting now, we have social media. Pour out your talent to your boost your page. Pour out this
Put yourself
talent.
out
Yeah,
there.
put yourself out there so that you don't know who is seeing.
Yeah.
You should not be dependent that it must work for you here. You can see a lot of people have gone out and come back and invested here. So just try as much as possible to improve yourself, and who knows, you might be a lucky one that will be picked.
Yeah. Thank you so much, gentlemen. This was an insightful one, just as
Thank you for having us.
I foresaw. Thank you guys. Thank you, Chidi. Thank you, Tafida. This was beautiful. Thank you guys for watching. If you've watched till this junction, you know that this was an insightful one. I enjoyed myself, and I know you did. Thank you so much. See you on the next one. Bye.